When you are actually doing a session, let's say, what is your process when you're sitting down having a session and you're going to just talk to somebody in regards to what is the process? I'm just curious.
I have an ongoing intention that we will have a very clear connection with my clients' loved ones, that we're doing it from the heart for healing, and that the greatest good be served for those across the veil and those here. So our work is coming from a place of service and love and just gratitude that we're going to have an amazing connection. And those across the veil know I won't do it unless they give me knock your socks off evidence, gold nugget pieces of evidence, things you'd never find online about them, like the son that always had a toothpick hanging out of his mouth, or
that's evidence-based. That's evidence-based in your opinion.
That's
mediumship.
Oh yeah, when the mother says, "Oh my God, that's my son," but that's just one little piece. It's the preponderance of the evidence in every session. So using that 7-step method, 7 steps to higher consciousness from my own video, I realized when I was going to teach connecting with others across the veil, that most people who are not born mediums, like I was not a born medium, like processes. Unless you're seeing the spirits, you can't just sit down and somebody says, do it. So what's the process? So I looked at how is it I go from normal waking consciousness to ready to do a reading? And it was these 7 steps. So I teach that, but it works for your own meditation. It works for daily connecting with your guides. So I do that method every day so that when I sit to do a reading, I just take about 5 to 10 minutes to get centered. And with that intention, once my client's sitting with me, I just shift and open right up to it.
That's fascinating. But you don't see dead people like
Sixth Sense. I could probably count on 2 hands the number of times I have connected with a spirit when I wasn't giving a reading or somebody wasn't around me that I knew I was really trying to get their loved one. I call them drop-ins. Maybe they're about 20 by now. When they wait a minute. My guides say it's more than I would think. Don't count yourself short, they said. Okay. So, but in any case, I don't normally see them. And even in my readings, I don't see them. And that has caused me to have to really feel the presence. And so I can give you a personality so specific that people say, oh my God, do you live with us? That's my loved one. Have you been in our home?
So you mean, someone who's alive or dead or both?
Oh, no, this is mostly people who have passed. Yeah.
Okay.
I should have said, did you live with us? Right?
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, because there are some mediums who can channel live as well. And
all mediums can tune into people who are here. All mediums are psychic because we're used to working and living in this bandwidth, the human in a body bandwidth. Mm-hmm. Tuning into loved ones across the veil takes more of an attunement. So if you can get that refinement, it's pretty easy to read somebody's energy here.
So it's basically like a radio station. You're just tuning the channels.
Yep, like different octaves. Those channels are like different octaves of frequency.
And you just have to teach yourself, and that's what you teach as well. You teach how to do that.
You just set the intention. Okay, we're going to tune into this channel, and you shift to another channel just with your intention. It's fascinating.
That's pretty remarkable. The whole concept. I mean, I've seen mediums. I watched that show, The Hollywood Medium, with Taylor. I think its name's Taylor. And you see this just remarkable stuff that they just like, how in God's green earth did they know that?
Yeah. Like how? Because the person is right here. I love when I do sessions and those across the veil tell me things that my client doesn't know and says no. And I say, no, I'm positive, you check. And they come back and say, oh my God, like the little kid last month, little boy. Well, no, he wasn't a little kid. He was 14 years old. He passed from a brain tumor. And he came through and he was talking about the secret decoder ring that he had. And his mom says, no. And I checked and I said, no, absolutely. He had this. What else did he tell me that she didn't know? He told me he was on a sports team and it had chickens in the name. She goes, not quite so sure about that. There were several other things she had to validate. She came back and he had talked about a girlfriend of his who drew a picture of him. Mom checked with that girl because she had the picture that she drew of her son after he passed, she had the secret decoder ring that they bought together. And the sports team, mom went back and found a picture of him when he played ultimate frisbee. She called the coach. She said, "What was the name of your team?" And he said, "Well, they called themselves the Chicken Warriors." So see, I'm not reading her mind. I was engaged with her son, who, by the way, said, "Mom, it was pretty cool that you donated my eyes after I died." She said, "Suzanne, nobody could know that." And we did. And it was beautiful. The messages are what's important. The evidence shows you can trust the messages. And one of his messages, besides "I'm okay and I'm with you more than you know and I love you all," his message was, "I can still see you fine without those eyes. I look in on the one who has my eyes and I love it." So that was really cool.
Do you as a medium ever just happen to be walking or talking to somebody and you're like, someone's coming in, a message coming, can I tell you something?
That has happened less than 5 times because my guides shut me off when I'm not working. They know my personality. I would feel I have to help everybody, and I wouldn't have a life, you know?
Right.
I'd be on duty all the time.
Yeah, I guess you got to be able to turn this off. I mean, and I'd imagine that. I mean, I'm assuming you're not getting, woken up in the middle of the night by, it's kind of like
sometimes, in fact, please read my book, Wolf's Message, because that young man did wake me up in the middle of the night with what Dr. Gary Schwartz at the University of Arizona called a historic visit, a blind visit, because nobody was giving me feedback. And we got 45 pieces of information by that drop-in visit in the middle of the night when this young man woke me up. That young man left proof that we are souls. And I state with utter confidence, this is proof that the soul often knows things that never filter into our waking consciousness.
To watch the full video, click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe.